Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. From 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold. Looking for something new in sci-fi or fantasy? Check out what Brandon Sanderson, Orson Scott Card, Nnedi Okorafor, and others chose as the best news stories of the year in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. From 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. And if you'd like to watch some of our shows on your big screen, check us out on Roku TV. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Grab your lunch, grab your coffee, and let's dive in. Today, we have the lovely Megan Reed, author of Main Character Energy. How's it going, Megan?
It's going excellent. I have got my coffee. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. I think we're just having a little bit of a lag.
Internet issues here. Hopefully that's me and not you, or you and not me. We'll never know whose problem that is. You can hear me and see me okay now? I'm going to try to prioritize my device. How's that sound? You can hear me and see me?
Yeah. I can hear you and I can see you okay. Yep.
Okay.
It's just a little bit of lag. What would a Monday be without some technical difficulties, right?
It would not be a Monday, would it? My computer has not had its coffee, it would appear.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So Megan, thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
I am doing wonderful today. It is noon here in Kansas City, and it is hot. It is so hot here today.
Oh, I wish it's hot, but not as hot today. Like we had a lot of people here in Ontario going, where did the summer go? And it's August.
Right. Yes. Ready for cooler temperatures in September. Thank you so much for having
sweater weather. No, not a problem. Sorry, I think we're still experiencing some lag here. I'm gonna try and see if there's anything that we can do on our end here. Just bear with me for a minute.
You bet.
No, I think I'm okay on this end. Hopefully it just like refreshes itself at one point. Thank you so much for joining us. I just wanted to do a quick intro here like I usually do. So as you guys who are tuning in, you already know that I'm catching up with Megan today, and we're talking about her book, Main Character Energy. We'll be talking about the writing process. We'll be talking about what the launch was like, and we'll be reading some special snippets from the book, which I'm so excited for. So, and also if you're not here live, no worries. You can catch us on, 7, 8, 10 different other streaming platforms, and on our Facebook and YouTube channels, probably the most reliable, or on SoundCloud. If you're already one of our many listeners, thank you so much. So who is Megan? Megan's been on the show before, but I just wanted to do a little refresh. Megan is a confidence coach, a boundaries expert, and a Reiki energy healer. And she is here to help you own your weird and unleash your main character energy. She's the founder of the Creating Confidence Society and mastermind behind the Badass Boundaries Blueprint, on a mission to help women discover the magic of who they truly are, so that we can ditch our inner critic and get out of our own way and unapologetically achieve our wildest dreams. I love that. As a clinical hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and certified badass, Megan takes a heart-centered approach to helping her clients heal and release what's holding them back, overcome imposter syndrome, and let go of people pleasing, which is huge. A lot of us do that, right? Mm-hmm. Just so that we can embody our most confident self, right? We need to be the ones that are going after what we want. So I love this description here. She's the witchy, spiritual, Frankie to your grace, no BS, self-love cheerleader you've been looking for. Take it away, Megan.
I am happy to take it away. First of all, thank you for having me. Let me know if at any time there is that lag again. I think we're good. I texted my husband, get off the internet. I texted him. I was like, I am working. I am so happy to be here. I have my book, Main Character Energy, here with me. This actually just came in the mail this weekend. And it is, if you are listening right now, Main Character Energy is lessons on how to lead your life with authenticity and confidence. And it is secretly live. I'm actually not announcing it to the entire world until tomorrow, and it is secretly free. So if you are listening, you are in a real magical lucky spot to hear about the book and hear some excerpts from the book on how you can step into your main character energy before the rest of the world. And the ebook is completely free for you today, just as a little thank you for listening. So that is so exciting, and I'm so glad to share this with you.
What a treat. Thank you, Megan. What a treat.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for listening.
I'm actually going to post the link in the comments. So if anybody's listening, they can access it right away. But you can also see it on the screen here.
Beautiful. Love that. Thank you.
Amazing. Okay. So I just wanted, before we dive in, because I really want to have so much time to talk about this, I wanted to let everybody know, on our previous show, Jen and I talked about our retreat. We are running a quick retreat. I just wanted to quickly remind everybody, it's not a quick retreat. It's a 2-night stay at Fern Resort in Ontario. It's near the town of Aurelia. It's beautiful. It's on Lake Simcoe. We've jam-packed it with workshops, CEO workshops. So we're looking for female entrepreneurs. We have some mini consults that are optional. We're doing some meditation. We're doing a little branding shoot. We're doing some intention setting. And also, we've also had the intention of putting in time for you to sleep in if you want to, or to make some things optional, because we need to be able to recharge and we need to be able to be at our best. And I can't wait to meet everybody that's already signed up. And I'm pushing this because our early bird actually ends on the 24th. So you've got 3 days, guys, 3 or 4 days to sign up. And you can see it at the link here under my name. It's ontarioassistant.com/retreat. We can't wait to just have drinks, have meals, and have our networking gigs with you guys, and to get to know everybody. And it is an all-inclusive price, so you don't have to worry about anything when you get there. Once you get there, you're good. You just sit back and enjoy everything that we've planned for you. So again, it's ontarioassistant.com/retreat. Okay. So now that we've talked about the retreat, back to Megan.
That sounds amazing. When is the retreat?
It's September 29th to October 1st. So it's like sweater weather, you know?
Yes. Oh, that will be beautiful. I'm envisioning it being just absolutely perfect for you. I can't wait for people to experience that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So Megan, take us through how this book came to be, what the writing process was like, with the, you know, the kind of tidbits of information that maybe people who are aspiring to write a book would find helpful.
Yeah, totally. So the idea for this book, Main Character Energy, actually came to me in a download from the universe one night in the dark while I was feeding at the time, maybe she was 6 months old, feeding my daughter, just like in the nursery in the dark. And it was like mid-August, around my 31st birthday. And I just had this thought that was like, I should write a book and I should name it Main Character Energy. And immediately I panicked because main character energy is a phrase that many people use. And I panicked thinking somebody's going to publish a book before me using this title, and then it won't be mine anymore. So I got to work right away, and I actually started, wrote, and published my book in under a year.
Wow.
Which is huge. I'm thinking about hosting like an event or a masterclass or something, teaching how I did it.
Amazing.
But really, you know, one of my passions is confidence and showing up authentically and owning your weird. So for me, this book was a really just like fun way to share who I am as the main character in my life and how you can apply these lessons of confidence and authenticity to your life and step into your main character energy. So main character energy, what that is it's the idea that you are the main character of your story, right? Of your movie. And, you know, quirks and flaws and weird things and all. Everybody loves the main character with their own personal uniqueness. Even the main characters you don't really like at first, when you start to like unpeel those layers, you're like, oh, they're a really unique and cool person. And that's what the idea of main character energy is. We're no longer showing up as non-player characters or supporting roles. We are the main characters. And that's what this whole book is about.
That's right. That's right. We are the main characters. And it's funny because from some people that might not understand that, it sounds like I am super important, but that's not what this is about. This is about being intentional with your life, right? Like that's what I'm getting out of it. Am I wrong?
Totally. No, you're totally right. And also, you are super important. And who is anyone to say that you're not?
I mean, like, you know, kind of like you're the only important person. That's not the message. The message is love yourself but also be intentional, because you're not just kind of coasting through life, right?
Yes, it's about loving who you truly are rather than loving who you like, or it's about loving who you truly are rather than showing up as who you think you have to be loved.
Right. So be you and be okay with it. Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's amazing. So how did you, how do I say this? How did you go about kind of putting it together? Because to me, it's such a like a novelty of, not novelty, but something new, kind of like, oh, I have an idea of writing a book. How do I even put it together? Who are the people I talk to? Just like in general, give us an idea of what this was like behind the scenes.
So behind the scenes, it was a giant cluster of me having no idea what I was doing and somehow doing it anyways, right? So amazing. I had a friend who was also writing a book, and I noticed she was using some kind of platform to help her write that tracked like goals and chapters and formatted as she went so that it looked like a book. It's called Reedsy for anybody who's writing a book. REEDSY. I typed it in the chat to you, Adriana. So I just started kind of brain dumping all sorts of things. So the idea for the book came to me one night while feeding my daughter. And then the next weekend, I actually had to go to a bachelorette party, and it was at a spa. And so we're at the spa, and everyone's like booking manicures and pedicures. And I'm like, I'm booking the salt room. I was like, I'm going to go like meditate by myself. And I got in there and I just started getting all these downloads, and I literally had to put my robe back on to go out into like the main area, which was a really long ways away, and say, do you have a scrap of paper and a pen? I was like, I've got to write this stuff down. And so I'm just in my robe, I'm barefoot in the middle of this spa entrance, and she's handing me some like printer paper out of the trash and cutting it up for me. And so I go back into the salt chamber, and I start just like writing it all out, and I'm writing down like what the chapter titles are, like what are these lessons that I want to share about confidence and authenticity, and it all like downloaded it. I felt so inspired. Everybody, like, I mean, everyone was a little hungover from the night before's festivities, and we wake up and we go to the spa, and everyone's like, oh, they're like, I fell asleep during my massage, and I'm like, I outlined my entire book.
So you're saying you, instead of relaxing, or did it just like you had a moment to relax, and then your body's like, okay, great, now here's a bunch of creative energy that you can take. That's so funny how that always happens, right?
Yes, I gave myself like space, and things just came pouring into my brain, and I had to write it all down. So I left that bachelorette party that weekend having laid out probably 80% of my chapters, not necessarily what order they were going to be in, but I knew the lessons I wanted to share, and I knew the stories I was going to tell to help share that lesson in a way that made sense and that people could like apply it to their lives.
Totally. Yeah. That's amazing. And it's amazing how creativity works. And from then on, you just kind of, you started, did you have to talk to like editors, or how did you come up with, this is the plan? Because you did it in a year. That's amazing. And I'm so glad you're going to be turning it into like a masterclass. But how did you kind of say, I need to do this by then? Like, how do you decide that? What's important in this whole process?
Well, I think what is important is keeping the end goal in mind. I set the loftiest goals for myself. I was like, I'm going to write this in like 3 months. So for me, I was yeah, right. But I felt that to be true for me at the time, with how easy it was to write like the chapter, like everything felt like it was going so easily. So for me, what I did, and I basically followed no rules, and I just started writing. I had a couple book coach friends on Instagram that I had purchased their book. Jake, I always forget his last name, but he has a book, Jake Kelfer, maybe. He has a book called Big Idea to Bestseller, and he's got a podcast as well. And that's really, I started reading that to kind of help me figure out, like, what do I need to do first? And the first thing that you have to do when you're writing your book is get your rough draft done. It's your first rough draft. He calls it your doggy first draft because it's rough. Get it? It's not.
I just found it on Amazon. Yeah, it's called Big Idea to Bestseller: How to Write, Publish, and Launch a Nonfiction Book to Grow Your Business and Make an Impact. And it is Jake Kelfer. Cool.
Yes.
Right.
So his book, full transparency, didn't hire him to help me because I'm very stubborn. I was like, I'm going to do this myself. And so I just started writing, and he encourages you to write a little every day. And I did try that. That didn't work for me for many reasons. She was a baby then. I have a toddler now. There were just like a lot of reasons where I felt like I couldn't sit down and just like hammer out 30 minutes every day. And how I ended up writing my book is I took actually my Christmas present from my husband was a weekend getaway. to a town like an hour outside of Kansas City to just write. And I was like, oh, awesome. I'm going to finish the first draft. And I did not finish the first draft. I made a lot of progress. My goal for my book was like 36,000 words. It ended up being 48,000.
Wow.
It's about 315 pages. So, but what I ended up, how I had to do it, what worked for my energy, I think it was 3 getaway writing retreats of about like 2 to 3 days at a time. That really helped me get the big bulk of my book done.
Yeah.
Without distraction, right? There was no toddler banging on the door, mama, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I did. And once my first draft was like nearing like the end, I could tell I was getting ready to go back and self-edit. That's when I started on my platform that I was writing, Reedsy. They have, it's so nice. Like you can literally browse profiles of editors and submit for 5 of them, like your manuscripts, and you get to talk to some decline you because maybe you're not their writing style, and some are like, this is great, I want to work on this. And so I found my editor, it seemed like a really seamless process through Reedsy.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even find her until like May. And May's also when I finished my first draft, I believe. Then I self-edited it. Then I sent it to my peer reviewers. Then I made more edits. And then mid-July, I sent to my editor. And she actually just got it back to me a couple of weeks ago. And I went ham. I went hard in the paint to get it out because my goal was to have it like published in live for my birthday on the 18th. The paperback was live. The ebook didn't release until yesterday.
Yes. Well, congratulations. Anyway, that's amazing. So I was talking to you a little bit in the studio before this, but you are also planning on having it on other platforms.
Yes. The goal, I would love, I have not pursued this idea yet. I'm still in kind of the throes of marketing it on Amazon. I would love to get into like Barnes and Noble and Target and any other places that you just like go in and purchase a book. That's an aspiration of mine. I have definitely not pursued what that looks like. So with self-publishing on Amazon, they'll give you an ISBN, but I did learn if you purchase your own ISBN and bring it, then you have full control over your book and you can put it into other retailers. So I'm fortunate enough that I knew that. And so I have my own ISBN. I am excited to pursue other places besides Amazon, but right now my goal is to reach Amazon bestseller. And when I checked this morning, I was a number 2 new release. Right under. I've been like screenshotting. Thank you. I've been screenshotting. My book is right under Kevin Hart's in one of my category. I'm like, I'm gonna beat you.
Amazing.
And I'm already top 100 in 2 categories. So I'm kind of tracking the progress. It's only like day 2 of the ebook being live. So I have a lot of exciting time.
You know what? I purchased it. I wonder if it's already on my Kindle. Here.
It absolutely is.
Let me see. I'm so excited. Also, I was going to say, if anybody who doesn't know what ISBN is, it's that number on the back of the book that identifies what book it is.
Yes, the barcode. If you're watching live, I'm holding it up. It's I had to peel off the sticker.
Yes, that one. Yeah. Hold on. Where's my Kindle? I'm so excited to see this. I don't think it notified me, or maybe I missed the notification. It usually says, "Hey, this has arrived in your library."
Oh. It auto delivered yesterday at like 2 a.m. This is when I got the email.
Oh, it's here. Sorry. It's here. Oh my gosh, guys.
Amazing.
Ready? Oh, wait. No, go back. I want to see the
cover photos. Like you have to scroll back for it.
Yes, there it is, guys. Main character energy. But if you get it today, it is free for today. So get on that. And make sure you guys leave a review as well, because I'm sure this helps new authors, all of the reviews on the books as well. Yes. And what I was kind of hinting at after is, I would love it if Megan continues her journey in authorship and actually gets it on Audible as well, because for busy people, this is key. This is absolute key. So I'm so excited for you, Megan.
Thank you. Yeah, and Audible is my next goal. My goal is to have an audiobook out by Christmas. It will be in my voice. I plan to read it. So
amazing.
Have to make the time, right?
Yes, I know. That's it's amazing that you even wrote it in a year. So all of these things, it's just me being excited. But obviously these things take time, right? I'm shocked that it's even going to be done by then, right? Knowing you, it's going to be perfect. And for anybody who doesn't know, Megan is hilarious, and I'm always down to listen to Megan talk about things. So this is going to be amazing. Yeah. So the other thing too, this is all kind of culminating from your experience as a coach, as an NLP practitioner, Reiki healer. As you know, the station has a lot of paranormal shows, spiritual shows, and we have a huge audience for that. And it's so exciting when I can kind of bring in my entrepreneurship goals together with the spiritual goals. But Megan is definitely, she definitely practices what she preaches. So tell us a little bit about that side of your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the practice what I preach side of my life.
Yes. And like the NLP and like the Reiki and all that fun stuff. Like, how did this help you kind of come up with all of these lessons and what you want to give back to the community?
Totally. Well, actually, the NLP played a huge role in the writing and the content of the book. So if you are listening and you've never heard of NLP, it stands for neuro-linguistic programming. And what that is, so neuro, the mind, the brain, the subconscious mind, and linguistic language. So the language of your subconscious mind and the programming, the stories that we tell ourselves and the way that we perceive the world. Essentially, I'm certified in the way that your subconscious mind communicates. And so in this book is so much hidden NLP stuff that's speaking directly to your subconscious mind. So as you read it, you're going to feel like super empowered, and you're like, how is she doing this? It's because I am a master programmer of your subconscious mind. And the really cool thing is, the more that I lean into my woo and my witchy and my Reiki healing powers and my certifications, the less I know that I'm doing it. And so I actually sent my book to my certification head, the coach who trained me. And she was like, wow, your use of NLP is phenomenal in the introduction. And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't use any NLP. And she was just like,
yes, you did.
I did. So it's been so cool to kind of just allow the energy. I truly believe, as a Reiki practitioner, the universe channels messages through me. And that's what this book was. I think it was so easy to write, and it was so, quick in the grand scheme of things, because I allowed the energy of the universe to flow through me into these pages. So it's a super powerful book. I've read it a few times already, and every time I'm like, did I write that? I don't remember writing that. Like, it's somebody else in my brain, just like mad typing on the keyboard.
That's the best feeling. That is definitely the best feeling. Amazing. So that's awesome that you're able to incorporate all of that in. How about reading us some snippets and letting us know where we're at? While you get that ready, I'm just going to do a quick station intro, because we're halfway through here. So I'm super excited to hear some snippets from the book. Let's see here. So for anybody that is tuning in, thank you so much. We're about halfway through. You're listening to Negotiating Happiness, and we are live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. And if you want to watch us on your big screen, you can tune into Roku TV and give us a quick search. And a lot of our shows are on there already. And we are here today with Megan Reed, author of Main Character Energy. And for anybody that's listening, you can grab her ebook today for free at heymeganreed.com/book. So run and grab it and enjoy. And now Megan is going to read a few snippets for us.
Yes, I think I would love to actually read the introduction, the first chapter, and the last chapter to give you a really good idea of what to expect inside this book. Oh my gosh, that looks so good pulled up on your screen.
Right? I love it. I love it.
I love it. Thank you. All right, so the introduction. And this is kind of fun if you've been listening this whole time. I kind of shared, I escaped to a small town to write my book, and that's where we're going to start off, right? So let me just set the scene for you, okay? I'm sitting in my Airbnb loft above a glass-blowing shop in the middle of nowhere, Holton, Kansas, with a cup of microwaved candy cane lane tea, spearmint essential oil diffusing, healing frequencies on my Bluetooth speaker, and Christmas decorations everywhere. I left the big city for a weekend to escape to this quiet small town to work on my book. Before I left, my husband said to me, make sure you don't fall in love with some blue-collar worker who hates Christmas, since you're a business gal from the city. Holiday in Holton has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Catch it on Netflix Top 10 next year. It literally did feel like I was going to fall in love with somebody on that trip. To be clear, I have no intentions of falling in love with someone new. I'm here to write a book, after all. A book that's been on my heart something wild lately, and I'm so excited to have you here with me. This book is about becoming the star of your own story. It's about me, my journey, and how I've been showing up in life with or without main character energy. It's about my path to authenticity and confidence, and now it's about yours. Main character energy is the notion that we are all the main characters of our lives, and to really live as the main character, we must show up and share the fullest expression of ourselves. No more dimming our light to make others comfortable. No more apologizing for existing. No more secondary character shit. Sorry, do we cuss on this network?
It's fine. Just don't say the F word, I guess.
I'll make sure to not say that because it is in the book. You are the main character of your own vlog, novel, documentary, movie, reality TV show, amateur porno. Show up however you prefer to show up. You are the star. But let's not confuse main character energy with big dick energy, okay? Main character energy is showing up as your true, authentic self, regardless of what anyone else says or thinks about you. Big dick energy is walking around like you've got a giant wiener in your shorts and you want everyone to know about it. Listen, no one cares about the size of your metaphorical penis. You're the star of the show either way. In this book, I'll be diving into the fearless read, questionable, risky, out there, and or dumb things I've done and lessons I've learned along the way that you can apply to your life and business if you have one. And listen, you could literally just read the chapter titles of this book and go on your merry way, but you and I both know that's not how our brains work, is it? You've seen these headings before on your favorite motivational speaker's Instagram, hanging as wall art in your friend's apartment, and maybe even on a quirky little tea towel at your hip grandma's house. These aren't new ideas. As a matter of fact, there's no such thing as new ideas. There are only new ways of delivery and new people who deliver them in their own unique ways. So come along on this journey of definitely empowering, maybe educational, potentially emotional, and probably entertaining lessons. I'm going to be talking about myself a ton. I mean, duh, this book is literally called Main Character Energy, and I just so happen to be the main character of my story. But as you feel yourself in these anecdotes and find the lessons resonating, I invite you to be curious with yourself. Let whatever comes up, come up. Lean into it. No judgment. This is a safe space. Side note, it is so fun editing out the curse words in this book while reading it to you.
I mean, I guess you can say F word or something else, but you know what? You want to know why the worst thing is YouTube is really, really particular. So then we get shut down quite a bit sometimes, depending on what we say. So we try to keep it PG.
Totally understandable. This is so fun. This is my first time reading this aloud. I hope that you are enjoying it.
I love it. I love it. I'm just like trying to go on this like visual like journey with you as you're reading. I'm a very visual person. So this is literally every time somebody reads or I read a book or I'm listening to a book, I'm picturing things. So when you're like describing the shop, I'm like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yes, it was so cute. The town was so cute.
Yeah, I bet.
It is my hope that through these chapters, you will find yourself relating and healing bits and pieces of yourself that maybe you didn't even know were there. The old skeletons in the closet coming out kind of thing, where you shine a light on them and suddenly they're not so weird and creepy anymore. I'm going to share some stories with you that I've never told anyone before, as well as journal entries I wrote in the thick of it to process my emotions. And to be honest with you, I'm effing terrified. My stomach hurts just thinking about it. I feel naked and exposed, yet excited at the same time. How effing magical to have the opportunity to shine a light on all my shadows for literally the entire world to see. I'm tired of hiding. Aren't you? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. A few pages doesn't seem like a lot to read until you start reading it.
No, you're doing great.
In this book, I'm going to show you how to step into your main character energy, how to uncover what you actually want and go after it, how to show up as your most authentic self, how to love who you truly are, how to ditch the self-doubt and comparison, how to set boundaries and stand up for yourself, and how to unleash your most confident self. But this isn't your regular how-to book either. There's no actual blueprint for this. There's no follow these 10 steps and you'll be the cool and confident main character for the rest of your life formula. So if you're looking for instant gratification and immediate results, I've got news for you. Self-discovery is a journey. It's a mountain with no summit, but the views as you climb are effing spectacular. Some days you're going to scale that mountain at lightning speed, while others you're just grateful the sun came up and your fire is still going. You're here because you've decided to scale your mountain. You're here because you're ready for the next level. You're going to learn these lessons through my experiences. So if you're the type of person who loathes inspirational anecdotes and entertaining autobiographical stuff, then this book is not for you. This is your permission slip to skip this book. Don't come at me in the reviews saying 0 stars, a waste of 3 hours. Don't bother picking this book up because she talked about herself the entire time, Brenda, because I'm literally telling you right now that that's what the next 297 pages look like for you. Brenda is my scapegoat throughout the entire book, just like Boomer Brenda. That's what I call her.
I love it. Don't take any offense, people. It's just a book.
Yeah, if your name is Brenda, I apologize. You're probably not the Brenda that I'm referencing.
Yeah. You're probably cool, Brenda.
Yeah. Yes. Would you rather hear? Do we have time, you think, to read the first and the last chapter, or do you want to hear just one of them?
Oh, totally. We have about 20 minutes left, so
beautiful. Go for it. I kind of skipped through the rest of the introduction because you get the gist, right? And I don't want to give away all the magic because when you download the book today on Amazon, you get to dive in.
For sure.
So the first chapter of the book, the first lesson is called Go After What You Want. If we haven't met in real life or on the internet, hey, I'm Megan. That's me on the cover. In case you somehow missed it, it's me on the cover. And I'm a farm-raised Midwestern gal who loves black cats, pink drinks, crystals, and sriracha. I don't eat gluten or dairy because hashtag Crohn's disease. Does the fact that I just hashtagged in a book make me old? I swear I know how hashtags work. And I'm deaf in my right ear. At the time I'm writing this chapter, my husband of 6 years, Brandon, and I have a backyard garden with 5 chickens, a freezer full of homemade bone broth and venison, and a 9-month-old baby girl named Sonora. I share these details with you personally, give you, sorry, I thought I was talking to her. I was not. I share these details with you because I'm here to personally give you permission to do whatever the F you want in life, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else when you put it all together. Catch me doing crunchy, witchy stuff and going to Starbucks. You know what I mean? It's a both kind of thing.
Yeah.
It only feels fitting to have one of my first chapters of my book be about going after what you want. I want to write a book, so here the F I am. I feel like this is where I pause and let you know what to expect in this book. Should I have included that in the introduction? Who the heck knows? We're including it here because this is my book and I get to do whatever I want. I'm going to be real and raw with you. I will not edit my thoughts or words to be less offensive, less honest, or less out there. Or this will turn into every other personal development book you've ever read. If this is your first, welcome. You're in excellent hands. The most important part of going after what you want is to first identify what that actually is. What do you truly desire? Is it more money, more energy, travel, a hot tub, time with your family, inner peace? You want to be a stay-at-home mom? Tell me, but more importantly, tell yourself. And don't tell me you desire to work a 9-to-5 job every day for the rest of your life if that's not what you truly want. You must allow yourself to dream bigger, like actually allow it. I was on a strategy call with a productivity and burnout coach in 2020. She asked me what my big goals were. I remember saying something like, I want to have consistent 10K months. Immediately she was like, what else? And I was like, what else? That's the dream, isn't it? 10K months. She said it sounded like I had never allowed myself to actually dream big. And she was right. Why? Because I was afraid. What if I would never reach those goals? What would people say about my true desires? What if I was asking for too much? What if I tried and failed? I wasn't allowing myself to dream big because it felt safer to play small. Are you relating to this, Adriana?
I love it. I love it. When you said, what else? What more do you want than 10K months? It was literally what I also thought. Yeah. Literally. I can't wait to dive into this today.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
But
it's not.
No, we want so much more than that. And it's totally okay to want 10K months. We receive that for ourselves. And also,
it's funny. Yes, and it's funny. I posted today on Instagram, just like as a side note, I posted today on Instagram a graphic that I made that when I came up, I did not that I came up with it because I've heard it before, but when it came to me as like, this is what you need to post, I was like, oh, wow, I love this so much. And it's very rare that I love my own content so much because I tend to be so overly critical. But it says she designed a life and biz she loved, right? Because that, like, if you're just reading over it, it's like, okay, that's nice. But if you're actually thinking about it, it's like, how do you create your own work that you love? A lot of people don't have that, right? That is such a hard thing to do. And that is my goal. That is my goal for everybody that comes into contact with me, to be like, this is how you can create your own life and business that you love, right?
Yeah.
So that reminded me of that. It's not just about the 10K months, and the business and the life have to be like this, right? You can't have one without the other if you're a business owner.
No, yeah. And like, how can your dreams come true if you don't even know what they are? If you just like only think 10K months is the dream, right?
Right. Oh my gosh. Keep going. I love it.
Listen, if you've never acknowledged your dreams, there's a pretty good chance they'll never happen. How can God, the universe, whatever you call your higher power, guide you if you won't be honest with yourself? What is it that you truly want? She was totally right. I'd never considered that. I remember exactly what I said back to her after taking a moment to think about it. I want to get paid to be myself. And that's still true. I also want to have my own Netflix comedy special. I want a tiny house in the woods and a condo in the city. I want to be massively compensated for my expertise. If you don't already know about my business and what I do, I'm a certified quantum life and success coach who specializes in confidence and boundaries. But you can just call me a confidence coach. It flows off the tongue way easier, and the alliteration is chef's kiss.
Yep.
I help people get out of their own way and ditch the self-doubt so they can discover the magic within themselves and go after what truly matters to them, or something like that. Raise your hand if your elevator pitch changes every 20 minutes. Okay, cool. Me too.
I feel attacked.
I'm always changing. Anytime somebody reads one of my elevator pitches, I'm like, is that a current one or an old one? I don't know. I love it. In general, my clients are business owners, entrepreneurs, and creative humans who know they were made for more and are tired of living their lives on autopilot. They're sick of people walking all over them, tired of overcommitting to shit they don't even care about, and really just want to feel at peace and in control of their life. And if you're here reading this, I have a pretty good feeling that you might relate. So, what is it? What is that thing that with more clarity and confidence, you'll be able to achieve? What is it that you truly want? What would you be able to accomplish if you had more self-confidence? Everything. That's what. Just imagine, you could finally write that book. You could quit your job and start that business. You could find the love of your life. You could get that raise. You could land that promotion. You could speak on stages to thousands of people. You could love who you truly are. You could show up on video on social media. You could rock that bikini. You could make $1 million and then another. Every single thing you want is 100% possible for you. If it's more time with your family, cool. If it's $1 billion on a yacht off the Amalfi Coast, also cool. This is your story, friend, and we're just living in it. You must allow yourself the time and space to identify what you truly want. And right here now, I invite you to let go of the idea that there's one right answer to this, because this isn't a quiz. There are no wrong answers. This is your story. And what you want one day may not actually be the thing you want the next. And that's fine. Allow all of it. Allow yourself to chase a dream that turns into a dead end. Because I'll tell you one thing, confidence and clarity are built through action. And if you never dive into the pool, you will never learn you don't actually even like swimming because of the way the water burns your eyes and makes your ears pop if you go under too far. You could buy a house tomorrow because it's your dream house and then move in and effing hate it. I have a client in this exact situation, actually. It took them less than 30 days to decide it wasn't the house for their family. Now they found an even better house that checks all the boxes this one was missing. But that would have never happened had they stayed in their original house. You must go after what you want to know what you want. A wild concept, right? My brain hurts just looking at that sentence, and that's how you know it's good. Essentially, if you never try, you'll never know. And there's a difference between what you actually want and what you feel like you're supposed to want. The American dream and all that. The Canadian dream. You should want a 2-story house with a big yard and a white picket fence and a tall, handsome husband who works really hard for your family of 4 while you're at home cleaning and preparing the meals. F that. If that's your dream, I fully support it, but it sure as heck ain't mine. The American dream, the Canadian dream, is the Canadian dream a thing?
I think we just kind of model it after the American dream. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. We're so very like all over the place, I guess. I feel like a lot of people are dreaming about doing the homestead thing now.
Yes.
You know, whereas before everybody was dreaming to, I don't know, maybe I'm talking from experience. Like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I'd love to live in like a big city because I went to school in big cities, right? And now I'm like, oh my God, no. I need to be as far away from that as possible. So I don't know. It's kind of dangerous to talk about what's going on in Canada right now because of all this like political stuff. But yes. I think everyone just wants to grow their own food and live in a cabin in the woods. So yes. I myself included.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah, but I still want to do this. So wherever that cabin is has to have like really good Wi-Fi or really good internet.
100%. Yes. Yeah. Love that. If you want to be an influencer who gets paid to travel the world and share about gluten-free restaurants, F yeah. You want to be a stay-at-home mom and watch your kids grow up? Heck yeah. I'm laughing at all my curse words in this first chapter.
I love it. But actually, there was a study done that it said that people who swear typically tend to be more honest. So I am that person. I have a potty mouth. So every time somebody says something, I'm just like, listen, you're welcome for my honesty. Yeah. Although it's now a problem that I have a toddler and that happens, but we live and we learn.
I'm kind of excited to hear what my toddler's first curse word is going to be. Like I mean, we're going to teach her context, but when she says it for the first time, it's going to be so cute and so funny.
Well, I have to tell you that they'll say it and you have to kind of do a double take and you're like, did you just say that? Oh my God. And you can't like react to it. So now our whole thing is, instead of the word, it's puck, like hockey pucks. So now so every time I say something and he looks at me, I'm like, hockey pucks. So he's starting to say this at daycare. And I burst out laughing when one of the teachers was like, I thought I heard him say something, but then he said something like hockey pucks. And I was like, oh, you heard him right. He did say it. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's just like a whoopsie, right? So it'll be hilarious when your daughter decides to. But then you're like, oh my God, how do I adult about this?
I love that.
Oh man. So good.
Where was I? Let's skip. Never let someone else's dream or the idea of what you should want hold you back from pursuing what truly lights you up. Imagine what your life could look like if you consistently took action towards what you wanted, reflected on your progress, made the occasional pivot, and kept going, no matter what obstacles came your way. For real, what would that look like for you? You've only got one life, and your time is your most precious resource. So if you spend your days doing stuff you hate or can barely tolerate all day, every day, it's not for you because it's not who you are. You're here reading this book because you know you are made for more. You know you've got main character energy and you're ready to start showing up as your most authentic self, aren't you? Right now, unless you're driving, obviously, while you're reading and driving, get out a journal or a piece of paper and something to write with. We're diving in. Set a 10-minute timer and journal with these questions in mind. What do you truly want? If nothing could go wrong and money weren't an object, nobody would judge you and you couldn't fail, what would you do? What big dreams do you have in your heart? What would be so effing cool if you achieved? Write it all out. Seriously, write it down, all of it. Go big and then go bigger. Don't worry about the how right now. That's not what this exercise is about. We're big picture dreaming, okay? Think about the 2020 Megan, whose vague, nondescript dream was to make consistent 10K months when it turned out she desired so much more for her life. When your 10 minutes are up, I want you to look at your notes. What's on there that surprises you? What's on there that excites you? If it's in your dreams, it's within your abilities. Keep the summer safe and visible. Keep the summer visible and safe from pets and food-coated baby hands so you can read it as a reminder of the main character inside of you who's begging to come out and play. And that's the end of the first chapter. And each chapter ends with an affirmation and the exercises for you to complete. And the affirmation for go after what you want is, I am worthy of the very best in life, and I now lovingly allow myself to accept it.
That's amazing. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I can't wait to dive into it and just like have a thought about it. It might seem silly for people that have never journaled before, but for those who have journaled before, you know that when you're forced to think about specific things, a lot more others come along with it, or things that you never necessarily thought were true or that you wanted. Like I've had some, not epiphanies, but kind of like, I've never said that out loud before, or I've never had that on paper before. And it just allows you to move forward. So if you are big on, self-development, I feel like this is such a great resource for everybody, where it forces you to think about the things that you were told as an adult that like, okay, well, you need to go make money now. Forget about your dreams. Forget about honestly, I love my parents, but one thing that I don't think that I'm going to enforce is I wanted to go to art school, I think. And I think if I would have gone to art school, I would have had an easier time doing that. Do I hate that I know what I know now? No, I think I'm super grateful for my education. I think I was privileged enough to have the opportunity to go, but I was always like, it was always in my head, art doesn't put money on the table. So you better like scrap that idea and go, right? And I love that as adults, now there's this resource that's telling us, yeah, but okay, so you did this, but what do you really want? What do you really want to like achieve? What is next for you, right? So maybe this was like a detour, but it kind of brings you back to the what feeds your soul, not just like, food on the table, because it's amazing in the digital space what people can do, right? If I would have said to somebody 10 years ago that I was going to help small businesses without even showing up at their office, they're going to be like, yeah, okay, like dream on. Do you know what I mean? Like we just have so many more tools now where we can make it happen.
Yeah,
right?
100%. And there's this movement happening where people, I think especially post 2020, where people are tired of doing stuff they don't like.
Yes.
They're done with it. And this book is like, I think, coming out at the perfect time to help people really step into their main character energy and figure out what it is that they actually want to be doing, who they want to be, and step into that, right? Because there's so much time left and there's so little time left.
Yeah. At the same time. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. It's like we spent the last couple of years doing all kinds of crazy things that were enforced upon us, for good or for bad. This is not like a debate thing. Like it happened. We've all had to go through it. And it's now like, okay, but do I really want to go to a job that I hate every day of my life? Just to spend the next 20 years and to say, like, to pretend that like I'm going to retire and then not work or whatever. Like, look at the economy now. Like, look at what's happening. It was such a good timing for me as well to start working for myself. And I owe this 100% to Zach, because I started thinking about the more important things while I was on mat leave. And the important part for me was I don't want to come home to my family angry about a job that doesn't appreciate me, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm so glad that I did what I did. You're so right. This is, and I noticed this actually on a lot of people that I have on the show, that a lot of them started when we were locked down. A lot of them started their business when they realized what was happening, right? So this is great. This is like a moment of change, and it goes hand in hand with all the, what are they calling it? The big like employee like revolution. I don't remember what they call it, but like the job market right now is ridiculous. Nobody can find anybody that's skilled enough. Nobody wants to stick around for a company that's going to give them the bare minimum. And I get it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the people with the skills are working for themselves now.
Yes, they are. And that's okay. And I feel like, what I always thought was kind of like, this is going to make me sound completely cuckoo, but when they tell you like 1 in 2 businesses fail in the first year or something. And I'm like, are you saying that as a deterrent for people? Because is it easier for you to just have people that think they can't work for themselves so that, they fill your giant chain stores, right? And they fill your giant coffee shop chain store. Like it's just, I'm always like, okay, but a lot of people that are truly entrepreneurial just keep going. I never thought about my dreams, my, I get to pick my life and be so confident as I am or think now. But that doesn't mean that I stopped. So even with like less confidence, I still came up to this point, right? So don't get discouraged, people. Read Megan's book and get it straight. Don't get discouraged. You will find you're happy at some point. And business does not have to stay the same. mine evolved pretty quickly, right?
Mhm.
And it
Yeah.
evolved into something that works better for me. Yes, is it scary sometimes? Of course it is, but I'm sorry. Like, look at how many companies, established companies, are closing their doors. There is risk everywhere. Do not let anybody tell you that it is not as risky. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
have your business.
You get to choose your risk, right?
Right. Because with that risk come certain like perks and benefits, and it's a give and take. And I'm so happy that I get to talk about this a lot, and like kind of like find your happy. Like, is this your happy? And if you're not entrepreneurial, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with working for people that are entrepreneurial. I just don't want people like second guessing themselves or not believing in themselves enough that they could do it. You can do it. You can do it. You just need to find your thing. And I'm so glad that this book has some prompts in there to like help you kind of figure that out. And it's funny actually, like after I started, working, and it was a whole bunch of time after I started working with Jill, and I was going through one of her courses, and it was like all about like branding and messaging. And it sounds like it's like a separate exercise that you do in your business, but actually it's that exercise of thinking about what you want to give to people, that, to share so people understand what you do, what really helped solidify my current services and offers and whatever else. And it's all about like getting the right prompts at the right time. It's so funny how like the universe works that way. And I think this book could do that for a lot of people, or a lot of people that I know that are working for themselves, or even thinking about working for themselves, or even just doing life and making these like really big decisions, school, where you're moving, how you want to live. Like, think very specifically what these prompts are asking you, and then kind of the answers will come to you. Right?
Yes, 100%. Oh,
gosh, I'm like rambling at this point, but I'm just so excited.
I'm equally excited as you are. And the chapter that we just heard is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, that's just the beginning. There are 27 more incredible chapters full of lessons that share my successes, my quote unquote failures, and the lessons that I learned, and how you can apply those to your life. I like to say, hang out with me for any amount of time, and if you have a 9-to-5, you're going to want to quit your 9-to-5 and go after your dreams. Companies do not like me.
It's okay. I'm trying to convince one of my best friends to stop working in retail and to start working for herself. It's the same thing, right? It's like, but you can do it.
Yes. Yes. 100% do whatever it is that you want to do. And that's what this book is here to do, to help you step into your main character energy and really live in your fullest expression of yourself, whatever that looks like. So I'm excited. If you grab the ebook for free today, snag a screenshot, send it to me on Instagram. I would love to celebrate you and share with you the joy and the excitement of main character energy.
Yes, and if you're wondering, this is where you can find Megan. I've posted the comment up here. It is instagram.com/HeyMeganReed, or if you're on Instagram, it's at HeyMeganReed. That's MEGAN, no H. And thank you so much for coming, Megan. Thank you so much. I can't wait to dive into the book. And I will most definitely leave a review. Anybody that gets the book, please read and leave a review. And I'm sure once you've done some other amazing things, we're going to have you back on, because we always love having you on. So yes, thank you all for tuning in. We are at the end of our show here. Thanks for, there's a couple people on Twitch in the chat room there. Thanks so much for showing up. And a big thank you to the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network as well. Next week, I'm sure we'll plan something fun. Of course, this is still summer, so I don't have my crap together, but I'm sure I'll figure something for you guys. I'm just keeping it real. And again, thanks everybody for showing up. Grab the free ebook. grab the ebook for free right now. So we don't know how long it's going to be. If you have Kindle, that'll work. I can confirm it's on my Kindle. And it's heymeganreed.com/book. If you want to see what other goodies Megan has, just go to her website, heymeganreed.com, or on Instagram. Thanks so much, everybody. And we will see you next week.